जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदना जय ब्रजजन रंजना जय यशोदानंदना जय ब्रजजन रंजना जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदना जय ब्रज जन रंजना जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Maya Jaya Sudarshana. Jaya Gaura Nitai, Patit Pavan Gaura Nitai. Jaya Radha Madhav Shri Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतात्पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजहतां सहगना रघुनाथं वितं त्वं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरत्से नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रा सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं तो जय मुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नहिष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा। सो टुडे fourth canto, 20th chapter, verse number 10. Verse number 10 and 11. Yes. परित्यक्ता गुना सम्यग् दर्शनो विशदाशया शांति में समवस्थानम ब्रह्मा कैवल्यम अश्नुते परित्यक्ता गुना सम्यग् दर्शनो विशदाशया शांति में समवस्थानम ब्रह्मा कैवल्यम अश्नुते परित्यक्ता गुना सम्यक् दर्शनो विशदाशया शांति में समवस्थानम ब्रह्मा कैवल्यम अश्नुते Anybody else? परित्यक्ता गुना सम्यक् दर्शनो विशदाशया Hare Krishna. Mataji's परित्यक्ता गुना सम्यग् दर्शनो विशदाशया शांति में समवस्थानम ब्रह्म कैवल्य अश्नुते. Hare Krishna. So we will read word to word meaning. Parityakta guna, one who is disassociated from the material modes of nature. Samyak, equal. Darshana, whose vision. Vishada, uncontaminated. Asaya, whose mind or heart. Santim, peace. Me, my. Samvasthanam, equal situation. Brahma, spirit. Kaivalyam, freedom from material contamination. Asnute, achieves. Translation: when the heart is cleansed of all material contamination, the devotee's mind becomes broader and transparent, and he can see things equally. At that stage of life, there is peace, and one is situated equally with me as Satchit Ananda Vigraha. Parbat, by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charnarvind, Bhaktivedanta, Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Purport: the Mayavadi conception of Kaivalya and that of the Vaishnava community is different. The Mayavadi thinks that as soon as one is free from all material contamination, he is merged into the existence of the Supreme. The Vaishnava philosopher conception of Kaivalya is different. He understands both his position and the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the uncontaminated condition, the living entity understands that he is the eternal servitor of the Supreme, and that is called Brahman realization, the spiritual perfection of the living entity. This rapport is very easily achieved. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, when one is engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, he is immediately situated on a transcendental platform of Kaivalya or Brahman. Hare Krishna. So I was also instructed to read verse number 11. We will just read through it and then we will discuss. Udasinam iva dyaksham darvya jnana kriyatmanam kutrastham imam atmanam yo vedapnoti shobhanam. Udasinam, indifferent, Eva, simply, Adhyaksham, the superintendent, Dravya, of the physical elements, Jnana, knowledge acquiring senses, Kriya, working senses, Atmanam, and of the mind, Kutastam, fixed, Imam, this, Atmanam, soul, yeah, anyone who Veda knows, Apnoti, gets Srovanam, all good fortune. Translation. Anyone who knows that this material body made of the five gross elements, the sense organ, the working senses, and the mind, is simply supervised by the fixed soul, is eligible to be liberated from material bondage. Purport. This verse describes how one can become liberated from material bondage. The first point is that one must know that the soul is different from his body. The soul is called Dehi, or one who possesses the body, and the material body is called Deha, or the embodiment of the soul. The soul is changing, the body is changing at every moment, but the soul is fixed. Therefore, the soul is called Kutastham. The change of body is enacted by the reactions of the three modes of nature. One who has understood the fixed position of the soul should not be disturbed by the incoming and outgoing interaction of the modes of material nature in the form of happiness and distress. In Bhagavad Gita also, Lord Krishna recommends that since happiness and distress come and go due to the interaction of the modes of the nature on the body, one should not be disturbed by such external movements. Even though one is sometimes absorbed in such external movement, he has to learn to tolerate them. The living entity should be always indifferent to the action and reaction of the external body. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that the body made of the gross physical elements, earth, water, fire, air, and sky, and the subtle elements, that is mind, intelligence, and ego, is completely different from the soul proper. One should therefore not be disturbed by the action and reaction of these 8 gross and subtle material elements. The practical process to attain this stage of indifference is to execute devotional service. Only one who constantly engages in devotional service 24 hours a day can be indifferent to the action and reaction of the external body. When a man is absorbed in a particular thought, he does not hear or see any external activities, even though they are enacted in his presence. Similarly, those who are fully absorbed in devotional service do not care what is going on with the external body. That status is called samadhi. One who is actually situated in samadhi is understood to be a first class yogi. Hare Krishna. So, taking the blessings of senior devotees present here and all the Vaishnavas, so that we can speak from the Guru Parampara. Hare Krishna. So, in this verse, that perfect state of Krishna consciousness, which brings complete peace and satisfaction to the soul, is being described. Yes. So, as in Bhagavad Gita also, second chapter, in the last verse, Krishna explains the state of the heart or the state of the consciousness of such a fully Krishna conscious devotee. And he gives a very beautiful analogy that the state of the heart of such a Krishna conscious devotee is like an ocean, a huge ocean. Yes. So in that ocean, sometimes the small streams of rivers can flow. But the ocean is so full, ocean is so deep, ocean is so vast that the inflow of the modes of material nature or the inflow of the different desire like streams doesn't affect it. Yes. And that's why we have, I think the largest ocean is known as Pacific Ocean. So once one devotee was telling how that ocean has got that name Pacific. He was saying Pacific means pacified. So he was saying its name is given Pacific because it is so vast, it is so deep that it holds that stability, that passive, and that's why from the pacified words comes Pacific. Similarly, a devotee heart is so complete with Krishna consciousness, is so complete with different types of services to Hari, Guru and Vaishnavas. It is so complete with different types of mellows of his relationship with Krishna. It is so complete with different types of devotional service like Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smarnam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. That no matter Whenever there is inflow of any type of desire or three modes of material nature in any form, the devotee is completely undisturbed. He is fully satisfied, he is completely situated in his full Krishna consciousness. Yes. So here Srila Prabhupada compares the type, so this type of siddhi, even the Mayavadis try to attain, where they try to dissociate themselves completely from the material world and try to attain that state of liberation. Yes. So Srila Prabhupada compares that the real kavalyam, the real liberation, the real santi of is only attained by completely by only a devotee. Yes. And to enact this comparison, Srila Prabhupada's purport of this beautiful verse from 6th canto, 14th chapter and verse number 5. Muktanam api siddhanam narayana parayana sudurlabha prashantatma kotisva api mahamune. So here again that word shantim is used. That how one is Narayana Parayana, one who has surrendered his life fully to Lord Narayan. Yes. So his state of heart becomes completely peaceful. Yes. He becomes completely satisfied. Yes. He is fully undisturbed from any inflow of any desire or three modes of material nature. So we'll read the verse and purport. O great sage, among many millions who are liberated and perfect in knowledge of liberation, one may be a devotee of Lord Narayan or Krishna. Such devotee who was fully peaceful are extremely, extremely rare. Yes. So we will read some part of the purport, which is very, very important. Yes. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives the following purport to this verse. Simply desiring mukti or liberation is insufficient. One must become factually liberated. When one understands the futility of materialistic way of life, one becomes advanced in knowledge. And therefore he situates himself in the Vanaprastha order, unattached to family, wife and children. One should then further progress to the platform of sannyas, the actual renounced order, never to fall back again and be afflicted by materialistic life. Even though one desires to be liberated, this does not mean he is liberated. Only rarely is someone liberated. Indeed, although many men take sannyas to become liberated, because of their imperfection, they again become attached to women and material activities, social welfare work, and so on. Jnani yogis and karmis devoid of devotional service are called offender. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Mayavadi Krishna Aparadhi. One who thinks that everything is Maya instead of thinking that everything is Krishna is called Aparadhi or offender. Although the Mayavadis impersonalists are offended at the lotus feet of Krishna, they are nonetheless be counted among siddhas, those who have realized the self. They may be considered nearer to spiritual perfection because at least they have realized what spiritual life is. If such a person becomes Narayana Parayana, a devotee of Lord Narayan, he is better than a Jivana Mukta, or who is liberated or perfect. This requires higher intelligence. So Srila Prabhupada here very beautifully compares. Yes, there are some people who are simply engaged in the material world. They are simply engaged in enjoying their senses with the sense objects. Yes, so higher than that is a person who has taken a vanaprastha, who has become detached, is trying to achieve the spiritual perfection. But Srila Prabhupada says further that higher than that is a person who is actually in the perfect renounced order of life. Yes, he has sannyas, he has completely renounced the material world. And such a person who is trying to realize that the soul is different from the body. Yes, so higher than that are people who have fully realized the soul. Yes, and they have become completely oblivious to the material world. Yes, and Srila Prabhupada says that such a person can also be called as Siddha. But the higher than that, yes, higher than such a Jivana Mukta is a person who has taken complete shelter of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Srila Prabhupada called that as Narayana Parayana. And such a person is actually attain the true perfection of life. Yes. And that's why even in Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna describes Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, na sochati na kankshati, sama sarveshu bhuteshu, and in the last line he adds is mad bhaktim labhate param. That means one is situated in Brahma Bhuta. Brahma Bhuta platform means he has fully realized that he is a soul. And such a person, what is the state of his consciousness? Na sochati na kankshati. He doesn't have a reason to lament. He doesn't have a reason to hanker after anything. Because he is completely oblivious to the three modes of material nature, to this material world. But then Krishna says that there is still a progression ahead. Because such a person, even such a person who has become liberated, yes, what is the next stage for him? Mad bhaktim labhte param. That means in that consciousness, such a person is actually eligible to execute pure devotional service. So our acharyas throughout the literature in Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada has very clearly differentiated. You know? Because sometimes we think that just realizing that I am a soul, just becoming detached from the material world is the perfection of life. You know? Even if you go outside in many spiritual organizations, many spiritual teachers, they take a person, a spiritual seeker, to just that level of consciousness. You know? Where a person thinks that if I simply realize that I am a soul, that's the perfection. But our acharyas have clearly told that the real perfection, yes, the completion of the spiritual realization is done when one tastes the nectar of the lotus feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead. When one achieves the love of Godhead, yes, that is prema. And that's why generally people think the four purushartha of life, that is dharma, artha, kam and moksha. And they think that at the moksha it completes. Yes, at the moksha you are done with it. But when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he gave the Pancham Purushartha. The Pancham Purushartha is when a soul becomes subservient. He realizes his servitorship of Supreme, that he is a Jivera Swarup hoy Krishnera Nityadas. And he achieves the love of Godhead. That is the point when a soul actually achieves the true perfection of life. Yes, because even in that liberated state, yes, Srila Prabhupada says that one's intelligence is still contaminated. Why it is contaminated? Because one still want to, apparently it may seem that he is desireless, but still there is a desire. And Srila Prabhupada calls that as last snare of Maya. A person who wants liberated. Because at that stage, a soul feels ki now, because still he is the center of everything. He thinks that, oh, I am liberated, I am free from this, I am away from the material world. So still, who is the center? I is the center. Yes. But when he actually surrendered to Krishna, at that time he achieves the true perfection of life. Yes. And that's why. And now I will go to the second part of the purport, where Srila Prabhupada says how to actually achieve such type of consciousness in Hare Krishna. So how to achieve it practically. And Srila Prabhupada here gives a very beautiful example in the last part of his purport. He says that sometimes we see a person who is busy in something. Let's say we are going to office, we have an interview. Yes. And we have an interview, so we are fully absorbed in the interview. I have to give the interview in this manner. Yes, maybe if he asks this question, I will reply this. Am I dressed properly? So while going, he is booking the cab. He is going in the cab. He is trying to follow the traffic rules. He is doing everything. But all those things are going external. His consciousness is absorbed where? I have to give the interview. Srila Prabhupada gives the same example. Sometimes a person becomes so busy in certain activities that the other activities, it goes into background. They are just happening just for the namesake, just for the formality. But his actual chitta, his actual heart is absorbed where? I have to perform that activity. How will that activity be? Yes. So similarly, Srila Prabhupada gives this formula through this beautiful analogy. That similarly a devotee, yes, when a devotee completely immersed himself in the devotional service of the Lord, then the other activity of the material world, yes, he may factually do it, but his consciousness is not drained into that. His consciousness is fixed into Krishna consciousness. So Srila Prabhupada gives this beautiful analogy. Yes, and practically we can see, like one devotee was telling that how a devotee can be fully, for example, if some devotee who is truly experiencing the taste in the holy name, yes, he is truly experiencing the taste of Srimad Bhagavatam, although he may go for a job, he may do his family duty, yes, but his mind is absorbed where, for example, when he's sitting in the company and he is going to just return from the company, he's just thinking, in the evening there is a Bhagavatam class or Bhagavad Gita class, maybe I have to attain that, yes, tomorrow is Ekadashi, or God Purnima is coming, so his mind is fully absorbed into that, yes, and then he has heard Bhagavatam class in the morning, he has chanted the holy names, so while though he is doing his other activities, but his heart is stuck up in the message of Bhagavatam. His heart is stuck up into the taste for the holy name. His heart is stuck up in following the order of his Guru. Yes. So where our heart is, that matters a lot. And that's why one devotee was telling in one class that we have to ask this question. Are we sitting in the Bhagavatam class and sitting and thinking of the material world, or we are sitting in the material world and thinking of the Bhagavatam class? That will clearly differentiate our consciousness. Because where our chitta is, where my mind is, that is where we are. Yes. If we are doing spiritual activity, chanting, hearing Bhagavatam, but in the mind, the inner core of the heart is being preoccupied by the material activities. That means externally we may be in Krishna consciousness, but actually our mind is absorbed in material consciousness. But the same opposite thing which Srila Prabhupada is talking about in the purport happens with a truly Krishna conscious person. He may be doing other activity. He is moving his hands, he is moving his legs, he is doing his job on the computer, yes, he is taking care of his family, but his heart is stuck up. His heart is anchored at the lotus feet of Krishna. Yes, he's trying to relish again and again. Oh, what a class it was! What a verse it was! How wonderful is Krishna! Oh, today I heard this wonderful quality of Krishna. Oh, today the darshan was so beautiful. Yes. Oh, today I met that devotee. That devotee is so inspiring. Yes. So the devotee, Bhagavatam, holy name, deities, dham. Why? Oh, last Kartik I went to Vrindavan Dham. How wonderful was Radha Kund. How wonderful was that Govardhan Parikrama. Yes. So all this Govardhan, Vrindavan, devotee, holy name, Bhagavatam, they have preoccupied the consciousness of a devotee. And when that is done, so though he may do external activity, but it will never affect his consciousness. Yes. So in order to explain that, I want to read from 11th canto, that is the conversation of Uddhav with Krishna, where Krishna explains such type of consciousness. Yes. Okay. So I will just read through the translation of the verses. I will not go in detail. So this is 11th canto, 11th chapter. Easy to remember. 11.11. Okay. So text number 8. One who is enlightened in self-realization, although living within the material body, see himself transcendental to the body. Just as one who has arisen from a dream gives up the identification with the dream body. A foolish person, however, although not identical with his material body, but transcendental to it, thinks himself to be situated in the body, just as one who is dreaming sees himself situated an imaginary body. Okay. So, okay, yes. Just a minute. Okay. So text number 9. An enlightened person who is free from the contamination of the material desire does not consider himself to be the performer of material bodily activities. Rather, he knows that in all such activities, it is only the senses born of the modes of nature that are contacting sense object born of the same modes of nature. Yes. So here Srila Prabhupada is trying to say that how a devotee is completely able to dissociate himself, though he is living within the body, but he has completely dissociated from his attachment to that senses. Though he is living with the body, he is living with his five knowledge acquiring senses, he is living with his five working senses, he is living with all those things, but he is not getting affected by that. For example, a very simple example, like we have a mobile. Yes. So there are two types of people who use mobile. One type of people who use mobile, another type of people who get used by mobile. Yes. So one type of person is that, okay, I have to make a call. I have opened my mobile, yes, made a call, and then I have kept it. Next time, next call, I will again open it, make a call, again keep it. But there are other type of people, who mobile, they actually opened the mobile to make a call, but they saw some notification, and then they got attracted by that notification. Then they opened one notification, and then it opened the web of further chain of notifications or the links. And they went on, and then different videos are coming. Oh, this video is also nice, like, dislike, and all those things. So mobile has used them. So though both are having mobile, externally seeming both are in equal position. One is also having a smartphone, another person is also having a smartphone. But one person, whenever needed, he uses his smartphone. Another person, smartphone pulls him. Yes, and he misses the goal of his life. The same thing happened. One devotee is also living within the body. Material person is also living within his body. Devotee also has five senses. The other person also has five senses. Everything, all the setup is same. But what is happening? A devotee is simply using his sense. He is the master of the senses. And that's why the word is used is what? Goswami. He is the master of the senses. He is the owner of the senses. That means it is needed to now do this service. Okay, I did that service. It's time to take darshan. Okay, my eyes get opened. I will see the darshan. That's all. Now it's time to do some seva. So with my working senses, I will move my hand and do the seva. So a devotee owns the senses, and whenever the time is there, whenever need is there, he just uses his senses. But with the materialistic person, opposite happens. His senses are pulling him, and he is just thinking, oh my God, where my senses are taking. He is just a servant of the senses. For example, the beautiful example, very layman example is given of the chariot. In the chariot, the horses are the five senses, the ropes are the mind, and the driver is the intelligence, and the passenger is the soul. Yes. So sometimes, the soul is directing. I want to go here. Please ride me there. Yes. Sometimes you direct the driver. I want to go here. I want to go at slow speed. Don't ride it fast. So here the soul is the master, who is trying to direct his intelligence, mind, and senses. But in the other part, what happens? The mind, senses, and the driver have become so uncontrolled that they are simply riding the chariot, and the soul is going, where I am going. Sometimes it's going fast, sometimes it's going here, there. It is going in different direction. And the soul is what? Helpless. It is simply becoming dragged. Yes. We will read further. This text number 11 is so beautiful. It perfectly explains this type of consciousness. An enlightened person fixed in detachment engages his body in lying down, sitting, walking, bathing, seeing, touching, smelling, eating, hearing, and so on, but is never entangled by such activities. Indeed, remaining as a witness to all bodily functions, he merely engages his bodily senses with their object and does not become entangled like an unintelligent person. This is so beautiful. That means an enlightened person also lie down. An enlightened person also sits. He also walks. He also bathes. He also sees. He also touches. He also smells. He also eats. He also hears. Everything is going on. It's not that he has stopped doing everything. Yes, everything is going on. Just like other people are hearing, we are also hearing. Eating, same activity. Externally, Srila Prabhupada says that sometime externally there may not be much difference between a devotee and non-devotee, but same activity. But then what is happening? But is never entangled by such activity. Indeed, remaining as a witness, he is just a witness to it. That means soul is a witness. Okay, it's needed to take bath. I took bath. The soul is just a witness of such activity. But in the materialistic consciousness, what happened? The soul is attached to such activity. The soul is relishing in such activity. Okay, now it's time to eat. Soul is very excited. What item will be there? Oh, I have to go there. The soul is excited about, because soul is attached. Soul is identifying with it. I am the mind. This the pleasure of mind, the pain of mind. He is fully identical with it. But with a devotee, what happened? He has fully dissociated himself from it. He's just an external observer. Yeah, the soul is the soul's connection is with whom? Krishna. The soul is fully fixed in Krishna. And the bathing is happening, eating is happening, sleeping is happening. The soul is simply becoming a witness. Okay, I have to do these activities. I have to sleep because I have to serve Krishna. I have to eat. I have to maintain my body. I have to take bath because I have to live clean in order to serve Krishna. So where is the consciousness stuck? To Krishna. And that is Krishna consciousness. And other activity, he do it, but the consciousness is not drained into it. And that's why he even remains oblivious to the pain and pleasure of that. For example, Srila Prabhupada gives a very beautiful example. We also gives in our very layman preaching of a cashier. For example, a cashier's job is to count the note. But sometime the bank may have loss and he may have to count less notes. Sometime the bank is in profit, so he will be counting more cash. But a cashier is oblivious. He just do his duty. Okay, today, okay, sir, 3 lakhs, I have counted. This is the 3 lakh. Please take it. Next day, profit 10 lakhs. Okay, sir, 10 lakh. But is the cashier getting affected? Oh my God, today I only counted 3 lakh. Rather, in modern consciousness, people become happy. Today I have to do less work. Yeah. So a cashier is fully oblivious to how many notes he is counting. He is just doing it. He is not affected by getting pain and pleasure. And why that is happening? But if we see, the bank manager is getting affected because the bank manager is identifying with the bank, the profit and loss. But the cashier is just doing his duty. That's all. Similarly, a devotee also becomes oblivious to not only the external activity, he remains the witness to such external activity, but he also becomes oblivious to the pain and pleasure of such activity also. Yes. Sometimes the same activity may give little pain, some same activity may further give some pleasure. Yes. Okay. Next, 12:13. Although the sky or space is the resting place of everything, the sky does not mix with anything, nor is it entangled. Similarly, the sun is not at all attached to the water in which it is reflected within innumerable reservoirs, and the mighty wind blowing everywhere is not affected by the innumerable aromas and atmospheres through which it passes. In the same way, a self-realized soul is completely detached from the material body and the material world around it. He is like a person who has awakened and arisen from a dream, With expert vision sharpened by the detachment, the self-realized soul cuts all doubts to pieces through knowledge of the self and completely withdraw his consciousness from the expansion of material activity. So here the devotee is compared to a person who has arisen from the dream. So within the dream, what happens? Suppose I'm watching a dream, you know? Somebody is coming, somebody is hitting me, I have some losses, I have some profit, you know? So within the dream we find we are fully into it. You know? We are living that dream. You know? Oh my God, such loss. And sometimes that's why within the dream also a person cry. Suppose he is seeing a dream that a tiger is chasing him. So within the dream only he is crying. Yes, because he is into the dream. He has fully attached himself with the dream. But here, you know, Lord Krishna tells to Uddhav that a person in Krishna consciousness is like a person who is arisen from the. So when we get from the dream, we just become the witness of the dream. So please see the difference between it. Living in the dream and now being the witness of the dream. So sometimes when we get up, we tell to our family members, na, कि अरे आज तो बहुत खराब सपना देखा. Today I saw a bad dream. Thanks, it's a dream. Yes. So that means there what is happening? A person is separate and dream is separate. He has dissociated the dream and observer of the dream. Yeah. The two things, observer of the dream and dream, are dissociated from each other. And that's why when the dissociation is there, so then what happens in one part, the other part can remain unaffected. Yes. So but within the dream what is happening? Both are same. Because he's thinking, I am the part of the dream. This is happening to me. Yes. So here Lord Krishna tells to Uddhav, verse number 14. A person is considered to be completely liberated from the gross and subtle material body, while all the function of his vital energy, senses, mind and intelligence are performed without material desire. Such a person, also situated within the body, is not entangled. Yes. So at that time what happens, as we have already given the example, that when all the function of his vital energy, senses, mind and intelligence, all the vital energy, senses, mind and intelligence, all of them are just the instruments of the soul. The soul is there, the mind, intelligence are like the tools. So such a liberated person, he uses his faculties. So the mind, intelligence are the different faculty. Yes, just like I have a laptop, I also have a mobile, I have this mic. So I use them. When I need to speak, I will speak. When I need to operate something, I will operate something. So for such a person, what happens? The senses, mind, intelligence, they just become a tool to use in Krishna's service, in his path of self-realization. These are different tools given to me by Krishna. I have to use my mind, I have to use my senses like that. That's all. Okay. So we'll directly go to chapter 16. A saintly sage sees with equal vision and therefore is not affected by that which is materially good or bad. Indeed, although he observes others performing good and bad work and speaking properly and improperly, the sage does not praise or criticize. And as Srila Prabhupada also spoke in today's part, that equality or equanimity, he attains an equality of material, because those things now doesn't affect him. Like for example, you are walking on the road and sometimes you are seeing that on the road there is a lot of traffic. Sometimes the traffic is clear. So we don't care for it. I just have to go through the road. Suppose I've come out of the temple, I am going to my home. In between something is happening. Some shopkeeper is there, he is shouting, or something is happening on the road. Yes. So we are not affected. We don't care about it because we don't attach to it. My goal is that I've come out of temple. Now I have to reach the home. That is my goal. Yes. So in between, so some days the world may be very beautiful. Everybody is happy. Sometimes somebody is not happy. Yes. Sometimes there is a lot of traffic. Sometimes the road is very clear. But I just don't care about it. I just reached to my home. The same thing happened with the devotee. Yes, because the devotee goal is fixed where? Krishna. I have to go back to Godhead. I have to serve my Guru. Yes, and that's why sometime while walking through that path, on the path, like for example, Narada boy. When Narada boy was going to the forest, when his mother died, he was going to the forest. So Bhagavatam describes that while he was going on the forest, he saw different variety of things. Somewhere he saw good villages, somewhere he saw a very deadly forest, somewhere he saw mines. He saw different types of things. Some were very pleasing. Pleasing in the sense, oh, there are nice towns, let me settle here. Oh, this is deadly forest. How will I walk from it? But the Narada boy was totally unaffected, because he was clear that I have to go and follow the instructions of the Bhakti Vedantas. He was very clear in his goal. And that's why on the path, some good or some bad vision came, but he was totally unaffected. So the same thing happened with the devotee, one who is fully fixed into it. So text number 17. For the purpose of maintaining his body, a liberated sage does not act, speak or contemplate in terms of material good or bad. Rather, he should be detached in all material circumstances, and taking pleasure in self-realization, he should wander about engaged in this liberated lifestyle, appearing like a retarded person to outsiders. So this is again so beautiful, that taking pleasure where? Self-realization. Wander about engaged in this. So here very beautifully translated the word liberated lifestyle. That means his lifestyle is what? Krishna conscious lifestyle. Yes. Okay, so I think there is a lot of series of the verses. I don't know which one to give preference, because we have very less time remaining. Okay. Okay, so in the remaining time, I wanted to just discuss from, so this is the goal, but how to achieve this goal? Yes, so Srila Prabhupada very systematically, he points out these series of verses from the Canto 1, Chapter 2. Yes, starting, so these are the verses, series of the verses which even Srila Prabhupada spoke in his song when he was going to Western country. Yes, starting from Srinvatam so Katha Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtana. So Srila Prabhupada gives us the very practical step on how to gradually achieve this type of consciousness. Because see, this type of consciousness may look very, very wonderful, we may aspire for it. But Srila Prabhupada also gave us the systematic way to reach it. Yes, and Srila Prabhupada says that it all begins with just sitting down and giving a proper oral reception to the message of Lord Shri Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada says that this process of attaining a perfect state of consciousness has become so easy in the age of Kali Yuga by the mercy of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Simply by giving an oral reception to the sound vibration in the form of holy name and the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, one can gradually achieve such type of consciousness. Shinvatam so Katha Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtana Hridayanto Sthohya Bhadrani Vidhonoti Suhit Satam Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nahistiki Tadarajastamo Bhava Kamalobhadayaschaye Chetayate, what is that? Sthitham Sattve Prasiddhati. So such a person becomes Sthitham Sattve Prasiddhati. At that stage he becomes Prasiddhati. Prasiddhati means happy. Kam Lobha Dayaschaye. So just by regularly hearing, regularly chanting. But Srila Prabhupada in that purport, he very beautifully explained that such chanting and hearing should be offenseless. So I remember still that in the first paragraph, That Srinvatam so Katha Krishna, Punya Shavana Kirtana. Srila Prabhupada writes in the first paragraph, he writes, although the hearing and chanting is very powerful, but the problem is that it has to be done in offenseless manner. Yes. So anybody who offenselessly hears and chant regularly, every day, Anudinam, Kintu Adarat. Yes. Rupa Goswami tells in NOI. Every day we have to do it, and Adarat means respectfully, properly. If one every day chants the holy name proper, Hare Krishna, he hears every Hare properly. He hears every Krishna properly. He thinks that this Hare is not different from Radharani. This Krishna is not different from Lord Krishna himself. This Rama is not different from Supreme Personality of Godhead. He repeats this process every day. Though obstacles will come. Sometimes one may feel sleepy. Sometimes there will be obstacles in life. But he still continues this process of sadhana. Practically every day. And with great respect. Yes. So by repeating this process again and again and again, what happens? Srila Prabhupada explains the further process, that there is a dissolution of lust and anger from the heart. Kama lobha dayaschaye. And then rajas and tamo bhava will start declining. And the sattva will start predominating. So what happens in the sattva basically is that initially it is said that Krishna is like a sun and our mind is like the lake. So we perceive everything through our mind only. Yes? Because, and then what happens when there is the waves on the lake? The lake is disturbed. So the reflection of the sun is also disturbed. Though the sun is as it is, sun is never affected, but the reflection of the sun is affected. Suppose there are the waves on the lake, so the sun will also appear wavy. There are circular waves, so then the sun will also appear, that type of structure. So what happens when by hearing the passion and ignorance, they decline and the sattva predominates. At that time the lake becomes still. And the exact shape of the sun, if the sun is round, we will see exactly round sun. Its size and shape is totally unaffected. So similarly, when the sattva predominates, at that time, the form of Krishna, the name of Krishna, the gun and leela of Krishna becomes very nicely, gets accommodated within our heart. We can very nicely be able to situate Krishna within our heart and relish Krishna consciousness. So sthitham sattva prasiddhati. And like that it goes. And in the final it says that how the karma is, the reactions of karmic kriya gets terminated. All the doubts are getting settled and he achieves the perfection. Yes. So we have a very less time, so I didn't go to the purport and those verses in detail. But so one devotee was very nicely telling that we are trapped in like a well, in the Kali Yuga, and the Jnanis and Yogis, they are trying to get out of that well, which is very dark, by themselves. They are trying, maybe I can get out like this, maybe I can get out like that. They are planning. But the process of bhakti is like a rope. The rope is there. And the devotee simply has to climb that rope. But he is told that within the bhakti also, if we are following on the path of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the process is still simple. You don't have to even climb the rope. We just have to catch the rope and he will pull down. And that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, one doesn't have to understand the Hare Krishna mantra. One just have to hold it. Hold in the sense, just hear. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. One simply holds Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. The Maha Mantra will itself pull him out. He doesn't have to analyze the mantra. He doesn't have to understand the mantra. If you simply hear Srimad Bhagavatam, that is sufficient. But it's not like one has to very scrutinize, he has to understand the intricacies of Sanskrit language. or he has to pronounce in a perfect meter. One simply has to understand the message, that's all. So that devotee was telling ki in the age of Kali Yuga, the process becomes so simple. It cannot become simpler than this. Yes. The Gyanis and Yogis, they are just trying to make out different plan. Maybe I can get out of this well in this manner, that manner, that manner. But for the age of Kali Yuga, it has become so simple. We simply have to. So Srila Prabhupada says that the process is simple, but not easy. It is very simple, but Srila Prabhupada says one has to follow it very, very diligently. One has to follow it very sincerely, seriously, and without any ulterior motive. At that time, the process will act very fast. The process is very simple, but only thing is that our lacking. So it is as once Krishnanand Prabhu came, he was telling, it is just like some 500 rupees, some item is there. So the company has made it very simple. 500 item offer. Take it for 50 rupees. But then another person is saying, 20 rupees mein nahi milega kya? Or can you give me just 10 rupees? So the process is already very simplified. 500 rupees item has become 50 rupees. But then the Kali Yuga people say, can you give me only 10 rupees? So he is not ready to pay that 50 rupees also properly. Yes. So that's the problem with us. So that's why the process is there, everything is there. So we just have to follow it very, very seriously. And just last, I will just speak from what I heard from one senior devotee. We have to, the morning program which Srila Prabhupada has given in the form of chanting, Mangal Arati, Bhagvatam. If any devotee attain this program very seriously, he try to engage not only his ears, but his mind into it. Not only his eyes. Okay, I'm just seeing the deity. But we are trying to do it very seriously, in a very fine-tuned manner. So he was saying that any devotee who makes the plan to attend simply the morning program in a very finer manner. Finer in the sense, not only with external senses, but getting involved into it. Immersing one's consciousness into it. Very carefully, very diligently, hearing every word of Bhagavatam, chanting holy name very properly, trying to meditate on the meaning of Mangal Arati, taking darshan with lot of heart. Yes. So such a person gradually, as the months pass, as the years pass, his consciousness will become colored by Krishna. The holy name Bhagavatam will start coloring his consciousness. His consciousness will start becoming tainted with these messages of this holy name, etc. And for such a devotee, he can gradually become, the Krishna consciousness will become so predominating that gradually he will become oblivious to the all material world and the three modes of material nature. They will no longer affect him. Yes, simply by following the morning program so the devotee was using a very nice word, fine-tuned manner. Generally, our morning program is like, Mangal Arati we started from Samsar Dava, and then after some time when we realize, Yasya Prasada is going on, Bhagavad Prasado, and then we started with first round, and then when we come to our external consciousness, we realize that already 6-7 rounds have passed away. Or in Bhagavatam, we started from 8 o'clock, and then when we come to the external consciousness, we realize that, it's already 8:45. Now, in 15 minutes, there is going to be prasadam or something like that. But the devotee was telling that we have to live the holy name. We have to live every round. Means the perfection of attending morning program is that after attending morning program, we remember all the memory. First round, second round. We go through those rounds. Means we have invested our consciousness in first round. We have invested our consciousness even in the second round, third round. We have invested our consciousness in every paragraph of Mangal Arati. Like Samsara Dava, we meditated, oh Prabhupada, he saved me. Then Mahaprabhu Kirtan Nritya Gita, we remember, oh how Prabhupada used to chant and dance. What were the Prabhupada instructions on chanting and hearing. Then the DT Mercy, then the Prasada Mercy, Shri Radhika Madhayo Rapara. So if after morning program we are able to remember the full movie, okay, when that was going on I remembered that, when this was going on I remembered this, in Tulsi Aarti, in every line I prayed this. If our memory, that means morning program is done successfully. If after attending morning program we are not able to remember what I thought when Sri Vigrahara was going on or Chatur Vidhastri was going on, that means morning program was a failure. It, in the sense that it happened in a very external manner. If we don't remember, okay, chanting, first round, how the chanting passed away, if we don't know, that means chanting was it was not a very fruitful activity. But if you remember first round, I was trying to chant, I was trying to struggle. Second round also I was trying to chant and struggle. So that devotee was saying we have to go through the morning program. We have to live every minute of morning program. We have to live into it. So that time, this because this sound vibration is just Krishna. Because just like mobile, in the mobile the waves are coming. So those waves are only becoming pic and videos. It's nothing. Whatever pic and videos and audios we are seeing in mobile are just the electromagnetic waves. They are nothing more than that. But those electromagnetic waves, then they are fine tuned and they received through the mobile, and when they are decoded, it becomes pic. Similarly, the holy name Bhagvatam Mangal Aarti morning program is surrounded by spiritual electromagnetic waves. And some devotees very careful to catch those signals. And then when they are fine tuned within the heart, so the same electromagnetic waves, spiritual electromagnetic waves of the holy name Bhagavatam, they become pic of Krishna. They become audio of Krishna. They becomes video of Leela. So he was saying, so I think the mechanism is same. It's not much, in principle it's the same. So that's why Srila Prabhupada, while going to Jalduta, when he was going to foreign country, his faith was on this set of verses, that let this science work. Starting from Srinvatam So Katha Krishna, Punya Shavana Kirtana. So Srila Prabhupada's only hope and faith was that this science will work. If the hippies, they receive this message properly within their heart, into their chitta, this process will surely work. So with this message, we will try to end to this session. I'll request any senior devotees who you want to say something. Yes. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।